I'm going to be letting people in as I'm juggling. Today is the day that we talk about lighting. And I'm going to be going through a whole bunch of information, and I'm going to need someone, it's got to be one of you two, who are going to operate the Sony to kind of show things. We're going to set up the red as our guide for looking at things. But I'm sorry, I just got out of a 2-hour meeting and I'm now kind of scrambling change of ideas. But we are going, this is kind of the crash course on lighting and cinematography. And so we're going to talk about all of the equipment. Oh, Jason's here, so we're good. So where to begin? Can you operate the Sony? I'm going to be moving around, so let's start with this right here. They're on every film set.
Sorry, Professor, but there's no audio.
Can you hear us now?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. Sorry about that. Well, we're sitting here in the long gray house.
Right. Yeah, I just wired that one in right there.
Yeah, I want to be able to go back and forth.
Okay.
The horizontal gray. Okay. So, prepare yourself, Nico. Striking. So, trimmed twice. And it is pretty intense, light. It is hard, it is intense. We're gonna do the same type of light. I'm going to save. I struck accidentally. I'm gonna turn the intensity up so it's the same. This 100% of the intensity. And what do you notice that's different between that and the RE1K?
Yeah.
You.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to strike, save. I don't know if you can tell, but it's a harder light. And then when I strike this, it's softer, it wraps around them, it diffuses the light. And it's this softbox has a silk in front of it. So the light goes out, it bounces in the softbox and all comes out and softens through the silk. Now we can put silks in front of the 1K lights. I have a ton of silk, so we can do that. But the softbox does it kind of automatically. The other thing that's nice about this light is that it's dimmable. I can, now I've just turned it down to 60%, and we don't have to put strings in front of it to do that. Why is that a problem? See, that's a dimmable LED. This is a incandescent light. Why can we not dim this? Because I do have dimmers, so I can plug this in, so it just sends less power to the light. Why does that not, why would you imagine this would be okay? Have you ever have dimmers at your house and when you dim your light? The intensity goes down, but something else happens. The what?
Like the ones that.
Yeah, absolutely. So look at this light, again, striking versus saving that light. So not only is this harder, and the softbox changes that, but what's the other thing that you notice? The color changes. This aperture is daylight balance. That means it is the same light color has the sun. It's 56K, where the Aries are 34, so they're more of an orange color. And so if we needed to get that color, we can use what we call gels. And put this in front of the light to change the color. And we can have a huge series of colors of gels. I mean, every color you can imagine. This is, I think, 4 stops, and I think it's 1 stop to turn 34 into 56 to make it daylight balance. So this looks like moonlight, but we do have them. I just grabbed one. So you can color the light by using gels. But what's nice is a lot of LEDs, you can change the color on them. You can make an LED look like up the lamp color, you know, the orange color in a lamp. Or you can change it so that it's more like daylight. More steps involved in changing the light for a 1K. But we will use these even on LEDs when we want to create different looks. So these are gels. By the way, if I was going to mount this, but anyone know what these are here on the front of the Ari? Barn doors. What are the purpose of the barn doors? They help us shape the light, so you can, if I wanted there to be shadow for some of it, I can close the barn doors and help shape the light of it. So a lot of lights that we have barn doors on them. But if we wanted to attach a gel to the barn doors, if you're in my class, don't you dare say this. What are these called? What? Yeah, my dad calls them when he's putting the nets over their grapes, they make wine. He used clothespins, but you don't dare. I actually had a former student. He then, after Gavilan, went to the USC film program, and then as soon as he got on set, one of his friends, he and his friend got hired on Back to the Future 3. And they were on set, and on the first day, the DP said, does anyone have any of these? And his friend didn't know what they were called. He was fired on the spot.
Damn.
Didn't know what it was. And my students who knew what it was pulled them out. But what is anyone, what is this called? C-47. It's the term they use on set. There are stories how it got its name. There's disposable lists. Disposables are equipment that you will use and that will be used up. And there's on item C-47 were the clothespins, and they got named that, and now everyone calls them that. Same thing like an extension cord is a stinger. You just kind of have to know the names, and you'll be saying them all through the semester, and so they'll start to stick. But when we get to the final exam, you're going to need to know C-47s, for example. But anyways, to put the gel on the barn doors, you can take a C-47 or two and help hold them in place. So you can do the same thing inside the softbox for the dimmable LEDs. But Jason, how often do we use the RE lights?
Very rarely. Usually use that like aperture type light.
Yeah, when I was in school, we used 2Ks. 2Ks are, each light is about 110 pounds. They're, really large. And they had hundreds of 2K lights on set, and then they would have about 50 1K. And yet, we were filming inside rooms. By the way, trust me, if you came here, I'm sweating because I'm near this light. They get incredibly hot. And then I'm gonna strike this, by the way. Striking, I'm gonna save this, because it takes a really long time to cool down. The bulb in here, and these lights are about $250. And with handling, when they're hot, if you bump them or whatever, the bulbs can, pop, and so it becomes an expensive thing, you really gotta let them cool down. But any questions about the RE 1K lights? Barn doors, scrims, gel, C47s are all things. Here are two other things that. What is this? What would you imagine this is called? A flag. And a flag can be used, mounted to a C-stand, and that can help shape the light. It's harder to shape light that's coming out of a soft box, but if I remove the silk, I have the same hard light that's coming out of the RE 1K. I could put, for example, a hard line that you might use. So we use flags to help shape the light, just like the barn doors do on the RE lights. So these are flags. Silks look exact same, except that it looks like it's a white bed sheet spread over it, and I'll bring some next time we do the lighting stuff, but it's the same type of thing. It looks like this material that's on the LED light, but it's fit in a frame like this. Also have scrims. Here is another item. Yeah, cookie. Cookies are used again to shape light. So this adds some dimension, and it can be something like leaves on a tree with some movement. So in horror films, will cookies or light. When we do things like shoot film noirs, we'll shoot light through these blinds. So it's a divided light. So we'll often use things to help shape the lights to create a look. So this term is called a cookie, and I'll be asking you about that later. By the way, this whole time I've been talking about lights. What if we're shooting outside? Do we tend to use lights when we're shooting outside during the day?
Some cases.
Oh, well, not gonna do it far. I'll say you use like a bounce button.
Yeah, okay, that's exactly where I was going. Good job. I could have 100 1Ks right in your face, and you wouldn't even notice if you were standing in the sun. The sun is significantly more powerful than the most powerful light. In fact, I'm going to go and I'm going to show you another light that I have. These are the big lights when I first started filmmaking. It's not the lights, the barn doors. No big deal. Okay. If I can't leave this on for too long, because it's actually 1800 watts. It's not quite a 2K, but it's an HMI, and it comes built with not really a soft box, but the light is bounced. It's not direct. It's incredibly intense. I have 2 of these. The other one I have, there are these covers that go over the bulbs. And I had a DP once flip it on without flipping up these things right here. And in about 3 seconds, it melted the metal. That's how hot it is. But it's coming.
All right. It's like a death ray right now.
Striking. So. That's nearly twice saving, nearly twice the intensity. And it's not direct light, it's bounced light. The bulbs are going against the hood and it's bouncing it at them. So it's soft light or softer light, but it's very intense. So if you needed a lot of light in a situation, we do have the HMIs so that we can use these. What's nice about them is that we can use one side or the other. So we can cut the intensity half. This is
Job at making sunlight.
this is actually not even, you wouldn't if I turned this on you outside, you wouldn't even see it, but anyways, just another type of light. I'm gonna save this. Actually, while I'm out here, I'm gonna show you a light that we started to use about 10 years ago. And at the time, we thought it was the coolest light. We were so excited about it. One of our class films on the couch, we shot all exclusively with dimmable fluorescent. Have any of you heard of dimmable fluorescence or Kino flows?
Oh, I didn't bring the tube light.
Yeah, I would look for that.
Yeah.
So, what's kind of cool about Kino flows, I don't know if you know about fluorescent lighting, but it's not dimmable. You can't control the intensity. So this is light above us. Doesn't look particularly good. It's not very flattering. There's a lot of flicker in it. They came out with these Kino flows, which one of the things that's bad about striking fluorescent lights is that there's one color temperature. It's often kind of an ugly green. You go into classrooms or a lot of buildings. Well, what's nice about the Kino flows is that you can buy bulbs in different color temperature. These are daylight out, it's the same light as sunlight, but you can buy whatever color you want. And so a lot of cinematographers who use Kino flows would have a whole kit of different colors. So if you went into a building and you were trying to supplement or match the light, you could do that. But what's really cool about the Kino flows is that you can dim them. And it's really rare that you get fluorescent bulbs that are dimmable. So suddenly this is really, really cool for us. When we were filming, we had a set, we had like 15 Kino flows, and we got nice soft light. We could get it just for the intensity we wanted. I made sure that we had all the bulbs in the color that we wanted, and so it was great. It's harder to shape this light, so for on the couch, it was a psychiatrist talking to a patient, so it was kind of in a business or a office building. And that worked, but if you're shooting a horror film, does this work? Can you make this look scary or?
I mean, unless it's saw, you can make it flicker. Kind of like a actual fluorescent light bulb, but that's
Yeah, well,
very niche.
it's hard to manipulate this light, and so for studio lighting, that's what it's being used now more is, and the bulbs are incredibly expensive. So it's just, I mean, while it was a really cool technology for about 10 years, it's really been replaced by, dimmable, LEDs. And I'm gonna show you my favorite brand, Sading. I'm gonna bring out the Godox. I like the Godox quite a bit more than the Aperture lights. So I'm gonna show you those, and we're gonna be using those this semester. I now have 10 kits and the college has 3 or 4, so those are the lights we'll be using most often this semester. So let me grab a couple of those.
Sorry.
Let me put my keys here. So hold on, just a second, like that, Godox. Hey, Jason,
Yeah,
is the Drake hat ready?
all right. The panel or, okay. Oh. Do we have a gold mount or do we wire it?
I brought the little nuts.
Okay. Light. You want to check that light?
By the way, this is kind of yellow, because yesterday when we were filming, I had a yellow gel in there. Let me just show you closer what. Not that was really odd. This color.
Had it yesterday.
Yeah, we shot a scene from Interview with a Vampire. And we needed a different light temperature.
Striking. So that is. Daylight bounce light. That should be the same light color as the sun. So. Okay. So. Dimmable fluorescence, which is what that aperture is, and these Drake casts. That aperture light right there is probably about $3,000. And that's not including the softbox and the stand and all of that. So they're not cheap.
The drape casts, though, are something that you can start off with. This is a panel light, a lot like the, similar, to the dimmable fluorescence, and yet, it's a dimmable LED. So I'm going to strike this. One of the cool things about this light is that, it is not only can we change the intensity of the light, so we can dim it from 100% to 10%. So we can manipulate the amount of intensity on the light. But we can also change the color. And I can either go from the 34 to the 56 with the push of a button, or I can do it with a knob. So I can change the color. It has essentially 4 main options and then a variety in between. So we can change the color, we can change the intensity. And another thing that's really cool about this and why we tend to like this is we can use AC power, so we can plug it in with a stinger. But we also, I put a gold mount so we can use an Anton Bauer and power it. This battery will power this light for about 25 to 30 hours, depending on the intensity. So we can be outside and film and not have to worry about a power source. So lots of advantages of these, and these drape casts, I'm pretty sure they're under $1,000.
They're about $300.
$300. Doesn't count the gold mount or the battery, but this is way more cost effective. So you can do this. Now we have these savings. We also have a different type of drape cast. This is a kit, so it comes with stands and diffusion and barn doors, and there are 3 lights in the kit. But these are smaller versions of the Godox, and so they can mount on a C-stand. And they're way less intense. So if you don't need the power, the intensity of a aperture or Godox light, you can use a much smaller version. It does the same thing. I can change the color, the intensity. It also comes with some kind of built-in diffusion in the light and built-in barn doors. And so I'm able to manipulate the light a great deal. So these are kind of a less expensive version. I don't care so much about the money, but if I were to turn this on and strike it, I can go down to 10%, and 10% of this is less than, the aperture only goes down to 10%, right?
Yes,
The
that,
Godox goes down to 1. It's one of the reasons why I like the Godox so much more. But this is still significantly less intense than the Godox at 1%. It's such an intense and powerful light. And sometimes you need that. We'll have 3, 4, 5 Godox going at one time. It's sometimes, and then sometimes you want just a little bit of light, just to light up something in the background a little bit. And you might use the drape cast because it can give you, it can be subtle, where it's a lot harder to get the Godox to be dim enough. So I've been talking about a lot of different kinds of light. I now kind of want to just stick with the Godox, and we're going to do 3-point lighting. Now's a good time for questions while we're adjusting. I look like I'm on fire on Zoom.
I feel like it because I'm sweating, but anyone have questions at home or here in the studio about any of the equipment we've been using? What?
Use the dialogue. No, the portable.
What?
Use the portable, it's more convenient. But most of these options here are great. Personally, I like which one? It wasn't harsher light, but it gave a good feeling of sunlight, like to the visible eyes, and I think,
Dimmable fluorescence.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think those could like work on something like, I know that film, not really that attainable anymore, but like something like a 35 mm could work well, with something like that.
We try to light everything as just like they would on a set shooting with film. Yeah, so. I've been throwing a lot of terms, a lot of names of equipment and stuff, but is there anything? No questions, no comments?
I'm definitely gonna buy one of those portable ones.
I think I have 25 of these, because sometimes you need one, sometimes you need a bunch. Sometimes they have different purposes. I have some with and without barn doors. Only some of them have the gold mount for batteries.
I'm assuming batteries cost more than.
Yeah, the Anton Bowers started about, they go way up from there.
We want to light a window.
No, what I really want to do is work on 3-point lighting
Yeah.
with the Godox.
Or lighting.
We'll do some of that semester, but we'll also light all the projects that we're shooting. And every one will be very different.
Oh, I am absolutely looking forward to variety.
Yeah. Feel incredibly hot, but.
It takes like 15 minutes for that thing to put it on, right?
Yeah.
Noted. That was scary.
Jason and I are doing a lot of this stuff now. Moving forward, though, we really want everyone to be involved and touch the equipment. When we're on shoots, it's imperative that everyone do it. So. I believe that you learn by doing. In fact, if you're tired of sitting, come on over and help Jason and me set up the next set.
All right, let's go with that light.
Anything else?
Anything left?
To do?
Yeah, we're gonna set up the next.
Oh, okay. I
So-
don't know. Well,
You will in just a second.
You want me to help out here?
No, you can be our subject once you're tired of looking
I'm
at
fine
pretty.
being the subject. I'm fine with that. Lighting stuff's fun. What?
sit with-
That and this couch is very,
Yeah, so.
very.
I don't know.
That makes me feel better.
So you see that. Walking up there.
So that's called a Drake house, and that's
Yeah,
also a Drake house.
what'd you say?
Is there anything else that needs to be set up, or is it just?
Yeah, we're gonna set up 3 Godox, or at least 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, no, no.
Ready to talk? Yes, you need to set them on the. What is this called? C-stand, okay, we're gonna talk about three-point lighting. It is something that all filmmakers need to know about. It is what makes your subject look the best. So there are three lights in three-point lighting to light a subject. Anyone have an idea what they are? Okay, the first one we're going to set up is the key light. The key light is the most important light. It's the most intense light. It's the light that looks most prominent on our subject. So as soon as we get one of these ready, we're going to show the key light.
This one.
We have softboxes for these. She doesn't know if you have them.
No, it goes on top of the first. Oh. Yeah, so that wire. No. We did that part in here and then. Plug in the one. Yeah. Wait. Don't do that. You're fine. Yeah. It's right. Yes. Okay.
Don't burn my eyes out. I'm gonna die. It's gonna be like that one scene in Halloween 3.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Don't have room for 47 today. No. Why don't we use it?
Yeah, punching down and then just kind of put it on top.
I lost my channel.
Okay,
Um,
I don't know if that's. proprietary. Ash, we get sandbag? Can we get sandbag?
So, I have a bunch of these lights, of my own, which I typically bring, but we just got these to college, and we ordered a softball to the money. And, we've been having the PIO come in, and this summer, they had a radar closet. And so clearly they used these and then didn't return the soft boxes. So. But, public information officer. They came into our TV studio without asking us, shot a lot, and that's part of the reason why it's a mess in here. Yeah, they took some of my personal equipment. And. But. We bought 5 box. Now there's only 2 up there. So. I later today, having it out.
Oh, yeah.
The dean will be. Anyway, that's what I'm curious about. Yeah, I apologize.
That's the lighting.
Yeah. Just another option.
I think that's cool. So.
What? So. Soft box is which is on the aperture, it's a big box, it does a great job of bouncing the light in a lot of different angles and then softening it. I'm gonna try these silks over the top, it's not the same, but. You'll get the idea. But, okay, so 3-point lighting. The first thing I'm gonna show you is striking is the key. And yeah, you see, that's hard lighting. Multiple layers. Saving. Striking. Okay. So if this is our key, one light source How do we look? Try to make it look as pretty as possible. What issue do you see with it? You like that one? Yeah, so a key light, by the way, a key light is never straight on. If you have a light that's straight on, it flattens your subject. And though someone with a big cheeks, I don't want to be flattened, I want to be anyways, you want to have a key to one side or the other, doesn't matter which side. But if this is our key, this is our most intense light, it comes on one side. But the problem with that is that if you look forward, you should see that there is maybe too much of a shadow here. I'm not worried so much about the shadow behind him, that's because we don't have soft boxes, but we should have a lot of light on his left side and it's more dark on his right side. Looks maybe a little bit like it could be a horror film. So what we then add is light number 2, which is the fill light. So I'm gonna take this light and it will come from the opposite side. I'm gonna strike this. This is 100%, so it's way too bright. This has actually now become the key. And if I want that to be the key, I'm gonna turn this way down so that I have cut the shadow on his right side. It should still be, and I'm not looking at the monitor, but it should be more intense on this side and a little less here. So key light, fill light. Is this too intense? Because I've doubled up the
It seemed to be about the same intensity.
okay.
Yeah, I think we do the same.
This is
I'm gonna
at
make a
55.
couple adjustments, so saving. I'm going to diffuse this a bit more, and then I'm gonna turn down the intensity.
Pretty decent, isn't
This is at 55 grand.
it?
Thinking. So, you know what I want to do is I want to get the red out and
You want
then
to?
use that monitor.
You want to show you the middle?
Yeah. Where, we want to see where it sticks, we'll put. Who carried in the tripod?
I got it right here.
Okay. And you have the red?
Yeah. Stay with it.
What we really want you to do is get to a place where you can see this monitor. Because we are going to. Tony's gonna need
Yeah.
this monitor as well. We're gonna have a class in a few weeks where we talk all about this camera. By the way, the first thing we'll talk about is what should every DP have in his or her pocket? Quarter wide. Yeah, is that for tipping the director or? And if that is, I want more than a quarter. Yeah, that's 2 bits.
Maybe they want,
Quarter's a lot back then.
Back then, how old do you think I am? Quarter acre. Hey. Battery case. Yeah.
Yeah, it's wired.
Hey, Daniel, why am I doing this? Why aren't you over here doing this? You've gotten suddenly really lazy. So here's the image, come sit where you can see, and, what are we not liking about this? Well, that's actually what we're going for. We're getting trying to make it as, imagine if this were, who's your favorite announcer, favorite news broadcaster?
Okay. I mean, it's still like a shadow, it's still over my side, it should be on.
No, how do you want to frame it?
Yeah, that's what it was,
Frame. The eye should be in the upper third, but the center. Part of it too is, part of this is just so ugly, the fact that we have a bunch of white wall for a third of the frame.
I feel like I'm in one of those insane rooms. It's the middle, right?
Yeah. It has nothing to do with lighting, I don't want to look at that ugly white walls.
He's suggesting.
Okay, so, key light, definitely, if you're looking forward. You can see, that he has more, there is the fill, but the fill still seems a little
Too much.
too much.
That makes sense.
Is that a little better?
That feels good, yeah.
So, we have a stronger key, and then it is not quite as,
Strong.
yeah, intense on the fill side. I might even go a little lower. I really hate the shadow being,
So strong.
right behind him, so let's take the key light and take it up. Right, what are you thinking about that?
I like it better.
Yeah.
I really like that, I like it way better.
Yeah, so it's getting better. So we've got 2 of the 3 points of the 3-point lighting. And so there's something else. What do you think that the 3rd point would be? Right now, it's a bit flat. And to give dimension to it.
Backlight?
Yeah, backlight.
Yeah, I knew it.
And so is this been powered?
It is wired, yeah.
So, and this is out of frame, so, I'm going to strike this, striking.
I didn't feel long already. No?
Okay, now this light, and I don't know what the intensity is on it, should be giving him what they call a hairline and, light on his shoulders. Can you see the difference? And I will strike it. Save it. Can you see the difference when I turn it on and off?
Yeah.
Is it-
Oh, left part.
Is it help?
Yeah.
Yeah.
a lot.
So, I'm not happy with the fact that we don't have nice, clean, soft boxes for our key and fill. But this is kind of the ideal light. It's a definite key where it lights up one side more than the other. The fill, which is less intense. You know, what, a lot of different ways. The fill sometimes will be farther away. We have dimmable, lights, so that's at 55 and that's at 8. So the intensity has been cut. This is kind of ideal lighting for interviews or trying to make your subject look as pretty and handsome as possible. So 3-point lighting. Now, this is a film class, motion picture production. How often will we do this? What? For GAD TV News, we'll try to emulate this for every single time we do an interview. However, we don't, in our class, well, actually, Jason's class, we are gonna do this film, we're gonna do
Oh, yeah.
some interviews, and so we will do this lighting. But Nico and Chelsea are doing horror films. Is this scary? Yeah. No? What can we do to make something scary?
Oh, never mind.
Well, let's, strike both the fill and the key.
Saving.
There you go. Lean back a little bit. Get a little more intense. I don't wanna hang out with Nico anymore. Yeah, so, eliminating one of them,
I
or,
wouldn't even hurt it fly.
Oh,
That's
a lot of
That's it.
you know, so, eliminating one or two of the sources might make a difference. If, we wanted a very dramatic scene, and maybe not horror, but he's talking about how, his mom just died and he's ready to cry. I'm just kidding, but so, we might have more intensity on one side and more shadow on another. So we are going to light in a lot of different ways. This right now is 56K, but maybe a different color light might make a difference. So we'll be manipulating the light a lot. We'll be doing different kinds of light sources, colors, angles, intensities this semester to get a variety of looks, because our movies should not all look the same. They should not, our subjects should not all look pretty and put together. Sometimes they're very upset or scared or whatever. If we're doing a romantic scene, we're gonna try to make our subjects look as attractive as possible. So we'll have candlelight. By the way, earlier Jason said, "Hey, can I put this lamp in the shot?" Does anyone know if we have a lamp within the shot, light coming from a light source within the shot? Does anyone know what that's called? It's called a practical light. So headlights from a car, or if you're inside the car, the dashboard lights, or a lamp, or light source from within the frame, they're called practicals. So we might use a practical as a key or a candlelight on the table. We might change, I don't know, is the warmer light better than, say,
The bluer light? More like he's a surgeon and,
Or I'm being interrogated.
yeah, well.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, second.
I remember in one horror film I did in a film called Death Pact. There was a woman who was a character who was strapped to a table. She was being tortured. And the only light was an incandescent light, that mechanics use, to like put on their hoods to light up the engine bay. And it was hanging. And it was dangling back and forth. So we got this really interesting kind of look light like that. And it was, my goal was for it to be kind of creepy, but that was the light source. So anyways, this semester, can you strike that again? Our goal is to have a variety of lighting. And so we are going to work on this quite a bit. Using all of the tools in the arsenal. Dimmable fluorescent, dimmable LEDs, 1Ks. One light that I forgot to bring, we have tube lighting, which is really cool because it's digital and can do things like, we did a fireplace scene in Marty's film, last semester. And it flickered kind of warm like a fireplace. I don't think anyone can tell. We had an insert shot of a fireplace and then we lit it with these tube lights. They also can be like red and blue flashing lights from like a police car, or it could be lightning or a lot of different things. So we have a lot of different types of lights, but there's going to be a lot of time spent making sure that every shot is lit well, and it will make our films look more cinematic and better. So
Do we want to show some of the shoots?
yeah, let's play them. Well, let's show some of Marty's. I think that's on here. Oh no, it's stuff we shot during the summer. So this was a scene that we shot. Anyone seen Pitch Perfect? We were recreating the Pitch Perfect scene. And so as far as lighting goes, we lit the stage behind her because that's how it looked. Wait, that's framing.
You're the.
Oh,
You're the person.
that was the close-up of the cut.
Oh.
Oh, no. Oh, well, okay. Here's an example of a scene with lighting. Oh, wait. We'll come back to that if you want, but we did a scene from Grease, the Hopelessly Devoted to You scene. And ignore the bad steady camera work, but so in this shot, she's coming outside, so we have a light inside to light her up so it's not dark. We have orange light to light up the porch. We have moonlight that's lighting up the trees. If we had more power, this is Tim's house. He had very little power for us. I would have lit up so it wasn't so dark in the background. Some things we didn't like about this. I don't love how the post is lit right in the middle. I would like to have had a little more light on Grace. So
Kind of the port.
HDMI.
You could put it on the projector.
It's the HDMI cable. Is it better or no? No? Nico, you can come back up. We're not filming you. So. So for us, we didn't have power, so it got a little dark by the tree. So we actually had to change the aperture a bit in post. Because to me, that seemed dark. But we were able to have some light in the distance. I remember there was a camper parked right on the street and we did not like the look of it. And so we tried desperately to frame it out and also keep it so that it wasn't lit to hide it a bit. But there was a big ugly camper right there on the left part of the frame to the left of the tree. So this was a very difficult shoot. There were only two of us. Jason and I were the only ones filming. Oh, Ashton was there?
Yeah.
So the three of us, I'm sorry, I was Steadicam, I don't remember, but we struggled with this, loved to have had a larger crew. Eventually she will move. But you can see lighting is particularly important. And we struggled with this, the lighting on this.
It's still black.
What other, we didn't, on this, is this the? Oh, okay, so we had this scene that we shot. And this is from The Breakup, the movie The Breakup. Shoot, sorry. Are you seeing it, by the way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's the practical lamp in the frame, and then we're trying to use that as our lighting source. But you can tell that we have a backlight behind her, so when she turns her head, you can see the light on her right cheek. But this is a limited space, and so we only had, what, 3 or 4 lights going? Trying to emulate the lighting from this scene. But every time we shoot something, that we start with the lighting, getting it looking good, to accentuate the actor's performance, create the mood, etc. And then when we we move the camera, every time you move, you also have to adjust lighting. I want to show you that one dolly shot.
It'd be up a little bit more. The cookie one.
The one on the stage.
Oh,
It was one of these walking ones, right?
yeah.
This is back to the Pitch Perfect scene.
Yeah.
So we try to light her behind the backstage, coming into the light. And then we have a backlight that she walks through, and then this is not a good take, but anyways, we're lighting for a lot of different things. We had about 6 lights.
Yeah,
going.
so we had this Godot casting down on her, and then we put a Dre cast behind her, if you could go out the first frame. But that first frame of it. I'll go a little bit further in. Oh, I can actually see it right here. So we had a Dre casting down right here, so you could get a little bit of the texture of this the scaffolding in the background, and so it makes it a little bit more engaging.
So anyways, the one thing we can do is I can, go out of the laptop and,
And put it on the projector.
or even here on the
Yeah.
monitor, just to save time. So I've been having trouble with these. Is that showing my?
You just know.
All right, so. Let's. Have. So this is Marty's film. From Witch from last semester. So we shot in David Butterfield's his set. And so you can see the flickering light here. Very interesting mood lighting, but we have one light source plus a candle. We had to make adjustments every time we reframed, but there's a practical with the candle lighting up Danae's face, and then that flickering light to light up Everly. This is a very early cut. It was a couple days after we shot it.
The history within the sea, whence thou comest and who thou art. Finally, we come to the tale of the picture of Timberlake. Tonight, I'm true to thee. It's no care to give the tale. And only follow, so accuse of grave sin. Sin so grievous to the carnival, that those accused were met with his punishment. Many are made in fault. Many into the lost. Yet, there was one accused who would not be so easily decimated.
So now we're outdoors. And to get the even or lighting that we need, we were using bounce cards to fill like underneath her eyes, or so that the shadows weren't too harsh. They're blueberries, but she's really eating them.
So fear into her heart. They whipped and hanged the king of the north. Her heart corners, all the full seats. Gone. After she had been sons and daughters of mercy and prayer. Those who saw the riches of nothing to be.
So the big deal was there not. I could escape the questions of the court and avoid confession. Return us in peace to confess the truth of thy witchery, or be hanged.
Would not confess. I've done nothing harm.
Lie!
I did as they cursed upon me. So you wish my family brought death upon you.
Hey, speed ramped up so bad.
I written spells that brought sickness upon us.
Family falls ill, to thy family thus.
Explain it, child. How thou art the only one who has not fallen ill. And how come it that thy family cannot recite prayer?
You have witnessed the team that dance around thy window.
I have witnessed thy parlor to dance around thy house. And nothing but evil like work.
Not on God. She is a witch. Devil wagging his tongue in her mouth.
Leave me be.
Thou art in league with the devil.
It's a murder, it's not more than foul lies.
Let me go. Please. Allow me leave. Thou shalt never see me again. Let me go and I shall disturb thee no more. I swear. I am innocent.
Please, are no longer use, child. Spare the village from further harm and confess thy dealings with the devil.
Let me go.
I will nor be gone. I demand thee to reveal thy witchcraft, or thou shalt perish.
Oh, yeah, that was nice.
We could look at lighting for smoke and mirrors.
Well, we didn't really like that one that much.
What
I
other,
would probably say heating's probably a bit better. That was smoke and mirrors. Smoke and mirrors was the first one, but we only had like one break cast going. Yeah, it's very basic.
leaving?
Yeah, let's see.
Hold on just a second. Let me make sure am I sharing?
Should be the right one, because I only put 5 inch on the leaving is unforeseen.
So there's color of light. Bring on a practical.
Jessica, leave it alone. Get out here right now.
Just leave me alone.
And so we have lots of light streaming through the window, divided light. and contrasting like moonlight versus.
That's natural.
That handsome fellow on the couch.
Sorry.
I didn't see. Slow, relax. Just getting started.
Yes, of course. Hi, sweetie. I'm so happy to see you. It's been so long.
Are you okay? Jessica? Jessica?
Okay, so you can see how very different the lighting is there.
You did? Dude, that took me like 17 hours.
Thanks a lot, Braulio.
I noticed that you did that effect from The Exorcist with the face paint coming in.
Yeah.
That reminded me of the genre.
So, there was not a single frame in that had 3-point lighting. No one was meant to look pretty or good. It was all supposed to be creepy and weird and, that was the purpose of that. We're gonna be doing, you know, a horror film or two this semester, so we'll do something like that. We'll do some very dramatic shots, and so every single
film that we shoot, we have to think about, plan, and then execute a lighting scheme to get the desired effect, so. That's our goal. If you wanna see all of the best films of last year, the showcase is online, I can give you the link. In fact, the showcase in the last several years have been, are posted online, so you can watch. But this semester, our goal will be to dazzle people with the look of our films, and it starts with the lighting schemes, the lights, and the way we manipulate it, so. Anyone have any questions at all about our crash course in the lighting? No? Okay, we're gonna take about a 5-minute break, and then we're gonna meet for our second and final pitch session to determine which films. 2 or 3 more have gone on the schedule, because I've gotten the completed screenplays. And so the sooner I get your screenplay, the sooner I can lock them into the schedule. So we'll talk about all that in just a little bit. So take a quick break, and we'll meet again in a few. Those of you who are at home, any questions about lighting before I end?
All good for me, thank you.